to how to paint watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello and welcome back to How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin, and I've chosen to paint this one today. So I've just stretched my paper and into the bottom I just want to put some Naples yellow to the bottom half of the sky, just drying off a little bit of the house, carefully around it, bring it over the hills. Just a touch of the transparent yellow, just to bring in a little bit of a yellow glow. These are just the initial washes, French ultramarine and permanent crimson into the top half of the sky. So if you bring the purple into the yellow, you'll get a neutral grey, as they are complementary colours. I'm going to bring some raw sienna down here. Transparent yellow French ultramarine with some raw umber in it, just for some greenery. It's like an earthy yellow green. Burnt sienna into the pathway. Stronger with the green in the foreground. And then we have to leave the first initial washes to dry. Now that your sky washes are dry, I'm just going to re-wet the background hills. This is manganese violet and French ultramarine. Just add this into the background hills and let it drift, let it get lighter as it comes down towards the farmhouse. Slightly stronger in this one. Just softening the edge. French ultramarine and burnt umber, just to add a little touch of grey. A little bit stronger on this hill as it's slightly more forward than the other one. Softening it out, removing a little paint where these trees are, because I want the trees to stand out a little bit. A little bit of water into these bushes here. Same colour, manganese violets, French ultramarine. French ultramarine and burnt umber at the bottom. Some of the back bushes here, same colour, just allowing it to drift up. Just a touch of light red, French ultramarine. Same here. And into this I just want to drop some raw sienna. Softening the colour together. Put a little bush here. Light red and French ultramarine once again. This is just a couple of specks of raw sienna. Once again, French ultramarine and burnt umber. Just to create some shadow. Soften it into the ground. Once again, we're going to leave this to dry. I'm just going to run some water along this gable end of this house, so some clean water, touch of cobalt blue, French ultramarine and burnt umber just dropped in. Manganese violets and French ultramarine. Just put the tops of these fir trees in. Taking some burnt umber and French ultramarine, I'm just dropping this in just for some variation. French ultramarine and burnt umber once again. We'll just put these fir trees in. I'm using a rigger brush for this, but you can use any brush you feel comfortable with. Open my mop brush, just taking some of the light red and French ultramarine, just gently touching these in, just a few on these back ones, French ultramarine and burnt umber. Soften that hard edge in there. Back to my French ultramarine and burnt umber. We can begin pulling these trees out. Just want to take some dark green, made from transparent yellow, French ultramarine and some raw umber. And I'm just going to drop this in as well, just to bring a little bit of green into it as we're moving forward. Hardly noticeable, but it is there. Once again, just dropping some of the dark green in. French ultramarine and burnt umber. I've got three mixes of French ultramarine and burnt umber. One's to the blue side with more French ultramarine in it, one's to the brown side with more burnt umber in it to make it brown, or one's neutral 50-50. The one in the middle is like this one here, it's just slightly to the brown side. Taking some more of your green and just dropping this in. Taking my mop brush, some raw sienna on it, I'm just breaking it open. Just putting this row of bushes in, and I'm catching the bottom of the trees because I want some of that colour to come into these bushes here. French ultramarine and light red. French ultramarine and burnt umber. A little stronger in the bottom. French ultramarine and burnt umber once again. To bring some real dark into the undergrowth. Taking some of the darker green and just dropping this in. Transparent yellow, French ultramarine and raw umber. Just taking a damp brush and I'm just going to soften the bottom off into the ground, just to attach everything to the painting so it doesn't look stuck on. Same on this side. and I don't want this undergrowth here to be as strong as this one, because this one's closer to you. Just want to put a little in on the roof here. Touch of light red for the chimney pots. And then we're going to leave that to dry. Now that your trees and brushes are really nearly dry, I'm just going to re-wet the foreground area, some clean water. French ultramarine, transparent yellow with just a touch of raw umber in it. Just strengthening up the foreground. Same colour again, but with more French ultramarine to make it a real nice dark earthy green colour. Just softening some of the edges in. Just pulling a little of that colour up into the middle ground. Taking my rigger brush once again. Some French ultramarine and burnt umber, and I just want to drop in some windows, a little shadow for the window frames, a little bit of red for the door just to help pull your eye in. Some light red with some French ultramarine mixed in with it. I'm just going to put some in the path here. Softening the edges off. Light red and French ultramarine again, but this is a bit darker. Softening the edges off once again into the grass. Just want to scrape in one or two rocks, but we'll just see if it's dry enough to do that, see how much it will fill in. Just adding interest to the path. Just a little bit too wet there, but I think the general idea. Just have a couple of birds here as well. Then I think we'll just let this dry. I just want to take a little clean water once again and run it just on the underneath of the eaves of this house. Some French ultramarine and burnt umber, just darkening one side. And then allowing this to drift into the water just to create a darker shadow. Just helps to define the roof. Maybe one or two brick lines. Just a little water underneath this eave. Just drop a little French ultramarine and burnt umber underneath it, just to allow for some shadow. And I'm just taking some French ultramarine and burnt umber and just pulling some little twigs and sticks out in these evergreens. I will leave some suggestions at the end of this video for other videos that I've made, and if you click on them it'll take you straight to them. Please leave a comment if you've enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing if you are not a subscriber. Subscribers are always welcome, and it doesn't cost you anything. Tidying up one or two areas. I'm going to take a craft blade and I just want to put one or two scratched out twigs and sticks and a bit of growth. And then we get round to the best bits. This is where you get to sign it, mount it and frame it. And like I said before, hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment and I will see you next time. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.